everybody believes that creating a SaaS using AI is as simple as vibe coding your way to success, which in some cases it can be. We utilize vibe coding AI all the time to help build Cloud 37. The problem with it is at scale, you've got customers, you got new features, you got data, you got privacy issues, you've got all of these things that come into play when building a SaaS. The other aspect of it is as you get more customers, rolling out features through different environments becomes extremely important because you don't want to release a feature without testing it. All of these are just little nuances that continue to come in, especially as you're scaling it. This is where we believe there's a lot of friction when it comes to people building SaaS in AI and believing they can just become this SaaS mogul overnight. One of the big pain points as well that we know are going to come up and bite a business in the ass is you see people, it's like, I've got millions of lines of code and I vibe coded my way to this success. The problem with that is just because you've got a platform that has millions of lines of code, which in some cases can be really good, it's more lines of code that you need to review to be able to fix wherever there may be a problem. The best developers essentially push product out with less lines of code, but still the same quality output. This is the difference between knowing what's right and what's wrong and how to pinpoint these. But the great thing of this is I've got a solution on how you can scale your service in a new age SaaS model that I believe is going to be the future of AI. But first, be sure to like and subscribe to learn more on how businesses of the future are going to be integrating AI, how we're going to continue to push the limits, and just the backstory of how we're continuing to push success with ourselves and our clients. So on my trusty Miro board, which I love to use, SaaS, we've heard it before. It's a hype word in the AI space, like I was saying. In the new age, what we are calling it, what I believe it should be called now, service as a subscription. So in past videos, I've broke down a framework called ECT, Educate or Expertise, Community, Tools, and Technologies. Be sure to go watch that one because it's a fantastic framework on how to look at this SaaS model and then scaling it through community and education. The big thing with this is, and what I talk about in that video as well, is our businesses started out in a way where we were experts at some point. When we started our businesses, it started with something that we really loved, something that we believed we were an expert in, and we wanted to be able to provide it to as many people as possible. This could be relatively anything, whether you're a marketing agency, doctor, chiro, investor relations, cat walker, dog walker, whatever it may be, all of these things can and were a service. Then as we continue to expand, we expand into more services that we can tag on because that brings more revenue into the business. The problem that a lot of businesses run into is when you grow to a point, you either have to bring in more people, more resources to be able to support those services, and then you bring in the clientele, and then your business grows and all this chaos comes in. There's two sides to every business. There's your demand and there's your fulfillment. And if your demand is really good, you're going to break the fulfillment. And it gets to a point where if your fulfillment becomes too large, your overhead, the amount of team management, the scalability, it becomes a lot of work. And in this new model, it gives you the ability to scale your clientele without scaling your headcount when you just focus on it. So in this here, let's just say we are a content agency. We help businesses with creating content specifically for their brand. So content expert. This is the service. Great. So what you need to do and how to look at it is you take your content expert. You've got frameworks, you've got onboarding, you've got information you need to collect. You do research on these businesses, you do research on the competitors. You do all these things to be able to create the content for the client itself. So I'm just going to put frameworks and strategies in here. Strategies in here. And then you've got your client information. Client information. And then what that does is those two things together create your, let me scroll down. Create the output they pay for. Great. Like I was saying, the more that you do this, more clients you on board, you got to bring in more people. Then you also need to train more people on this. Internal training becomes an absolute nightmare. If you've ran any business at any size, we know that training people on your processes and how you do strategies, it's just not the same. There's a lot of businesses that we speak to, and I can't find anybody that can do the same output as me. I just can't trust anybody. There's nobody like me who understands these strategies. Okay, great, but that means you're the bottleneck. So what we need to do is we need to get that nonsense out of your head, put it into an agent so we can be able to scale it, because you're holding your business back. You are the cap to your business. And this is a huge point that we try and pull out of these businesses as we're working with them. So this is the pain point right now. This is scalability pain point. So now we want to turn it into a subscription. This is where it becomes fun, scalable, and something that you can still provide the output that you're looking for and what your clients for as well. I talk about it in other videos. Alex Hormozi hires agencies, consultants that come in, teaches team on how to actually be the expert, so he doesn't have to have an outside team doing the work. It's all internal, which is great. And as the markets continue to change, businesses are struggling. They're dealing with cash flow issues. People are going to have to go back to doing the dirty work because they're not going to be able to pay the highest retainers to be able to get these things done for you. So by taking this content expert and building an AI orchestration, and what you do here is you need to, and you have to break down what this process is. And we call it your customer journey. When somebody finally gives you that, pays their invoice and they're ready to work with you, what are the steps that they need to go with? Okay, well, there's your onboarding, let's call it. And they need to collect a certain amount of information. You need to collect strategies, past information, whatever it may be. But you guys, as the experts and as a service, you know what you need to collect from these clients itself. Then from there, typically what you do in your team, and I'm talking hypothetically, just based on past experience, what we've done for ourselves and other clients, you go through some sort of strategy session internally. This is what you go through. And this is where you, as the expert, need to take the onboarding information and map out the whole thing to be able to present it to them so they can go and approve it for you to do the final work. Then there's the point where, again, approval process. Then you've got iterations, so on and so forth, all the way down until you get the final approval. And then you need to go and do the rest of the work and get it all designed up and everything. So this is where, especially for content, you've got an editor, you've got somebody who does design work, Photoshop, Canva, all these fun things, which takes the human in the loop as well. And these are the things that truly, as a service, we know people are paying for. Yes, the strategies and the compressed time and all those things are in there, but it takes a lot of manpower, especially when it comes to creating content, to be able to get the highest quality output to stand out in all the noise itself. So Taking this and building this into an AI orchestration, what you have the ability to do is create a onboarding agent that collects the same information. Then it can automatically go into a strategy. Then what happens is, and again, you're going to have to go back and watch the ETC framework video, and I can link it below as well. You don't do 100% of the work. What you actually do is the subscription just gets you access to the expertise, but you still have to know what good output is. So you educate them on what's good and what's bad content and the processes afterwards, whether it's, again, designing it, whether it's making tweaks or edits or whatever it may be. They have to put in that extra work. That is the human in the loop aspect that is so important with AI right now with the processes that people are going through. So again, you onboard them through an AI agent. You collect everything that it may be. It automatically passes to a strategy agent that you've built based on all the frameworks and strategies and past success and everything that you've built internally. Then in a group setting or one-on-one or however you want to do it, we recommend in a cohort setting, you could bring in 50, 100, 150 people into these sessions to show them the new strategies, how to take the information that's custom to their business and how to utilize the strategy agents to be able to approve and output the information, that final approval process by themselves. They become that approval process. They start to go through the process. They start to become the expert. But what you don't do is you don't give up this. You do not give up your IP. They can't see these. You teach them how to utilize them, but you don't teach them exactly what they are, because that is your IP, that's your moat, and that's something that's going to keep you ahead of everybody else. As you continue to build up this community, again, if you're doing a cohort setting, that's what we recommend, because that's going to be another part of your moat to be able to create that word of mouth. But they now have the ability to get an output for their business using your strategy custom to their business, and you're more of a consultant. The ability to charge for these subscriptions is coming extremely fast. Whether it's $100, whether it's $500, whether it's $1,000, that's completely up to you, depending on your positioning that are in there. And maybe I'll do another video on how to position these things and how we actually go about selling these subscriptions. Right now, we sell these on yearly subscriptions. So we help people with prompting and content and creating offers and whatever their business may be. And we sell yearly subscriptions to essentially Cloud 37 based on these agents in the beginning. So we give them a taste of how good we are, and then we have the ability to upsell them into the higher packages, because they see that now I've got it to the final approval. I still need to edit them. I still need to do the posting. I still need to do the human aspect of running the business. And you can now get those higher retainers, which is great. So with this, I'm going to repeat myself. The new SaaS model, service as a subscription, taking whatever you are as an expert and bottling it up. Really sitting down, mapping it out. What do people come to me for? Why do people stay? And then from there, it's like, who is the expert that runs these strategies? Are they a bottleneck in our business? If they got hit by a bus, what would happen to my business? Would it stop overnight? The hit by a bus syndrome is another video that I'll go through as well, and the importance of the hit by a bus syndrome. Bottling it up into an AI orchestration. This is what they're called, where you've got multiple agents that do very specific tasks to be able to get a custom output for your client based on your expertise, and then allowing them to do the 20, 30% of the work themselves based on your output. Then in the group setting, you can emerging technologies, how these strategies are changing, things that continue to pop up that you're seeing, you actually become a seat in their company to be able to keep them moving forward without you being a full retainer person in their business. It seems like it's a new way of doing business, and it is. Being able to do these things from chat interfaces are coming quick. PayPal just partnered up with OpenAI, so for commerce, you're going to be able to check. You already can check out through chat. Chatbot marketing has been around for years. Now, being able to do work through chat and being able to leverage agents custom for your business, I'm telling you, this is going to be the future of running your service. Stop thinking about, I need to hire all these people. I need to build all these processes. It's overwhelming. I get it. We've all been there. Think about what you're the best at. Bottle it up. Build AI orchestrations and scale your business without scaling more services and more headcount. Give yourself some time back to spend with your family and friends or whatever it may be, and get the wins underneath your belt, because this also drives true profit to your business, true value to your customers, and it's a win-win-win. It really is. I'd love for you to just comment below on what you believe you're an expert at, if you've tried to build these AI orchestrations before, and if you've ran into any issues, if you've heard of the subscription as a service. I haven't heard anybody talk about it, but I talk about it a lot. We've done this for ourselves. And be sure to watch that ECT framework video and connect these two together, because the more that these videos come together, the more that is going to be make an easier picture for you to understand what you need to do for your business. As always, appreciate you watching, and keep on doing what you're doing. AI is just a tool to be able to help scale and amplify what is already in your business. Our business was around before AI, and it's going to continue to be there after, if you look at building the processes differently and adapting and innovating and revolutionizing your business in something like service as a subscription. But as always, stay dialed.